There, folks, we're back. My phone kind of froze. It was frozen on my screen, and then it wouldn't let me end, and it was very odd. I saw the chat going by. I saw all your comments. Where is he? It's buffering, but I couldn't see all of you. So here I am, and it is getting a little late. I've been on for a while, so I'm going to probably finish answering these super chat questions, and then we'll wrap this up. But if people are watching now, if you can please take the link and post it elsewhere. I mean, I don't know why my phone does this, but yeah, it was very bizarre, but here I am, so post the link, so there you go. There you go, folks. We're back. Post the link, please, in the chat, because we'll continue, and we'll continue answering your super chat questions. So there you go. Sorry about that. So, all right. Will conservatism ever regain power? I'm predicting that some kind of social conservatism is going to regain power in response to the wave of social liberalism, the drugs, and some of the other things that are going on. I'm predicting that some form of social conservatism will regain power, and that scares me. That really scares me, honestly. It really scares me because in this country, social conservatism is associated with racism, and it's associated with free market neoliberalism, and so there you go. All right. Should the U.S. flag be preserved? Should the U.S. flag be preserved? I wouldn't be opposed to a new flag. I mean, why? Look, the 13 colonies, they weren't particularly good, and we have 13 stripes of the 13 colonies. That's not particularly good, and I don't know. I would be for a new flag. Maybe, I would be in favor of a new flag. Why not? Right? Why not? I don't see anything special about the flag as it is. Like I said, we've changed it so many darn times, right? I wouldn't be opposed to a new flag for the country. I would not be opposed to it. Why not get a new flag? All right. The Stalin interview with H.G. Wells. Very good. H.G. Wells knew how to get Stalin talking. He really knew how to get Stalin talking. I would recommend the Stalin interview with H.G. Wells. He really knew how to get him talking. I mean, Stalin is very frank. He's very to the point. He explains his position on a number of things. He talks about capitalist economic crisis. I would recommend the Stalin interview with H.G. Wells. I absolutely would recommend it. So there you go. All right. Green New Deal versus the Old New Deal. Folks, I've said many times that the concept of a Green New Deal is not a bad concept. The idea we need a New Deal, and it should be, energy that is more sustainable. That's something I can get behind. I'm not opposed to the concept of a Green New Deal. The actual Green New Deal I don't like so much. Reducing energy consumption, no, right? Replacing coal power plants, with windmills and solar panels, not so much, right? How about a nuclear Green New Deal? I'd be for that, right? How about we fund the hell out of fusion energy research? I'd be for that, right? Look at what China's doing right now with their artificial sun. This is amazing, right? The concept of a Green New Deal is a good concept. The actual Green New Deal is, I'm not too impressed with it, honestly. I will say that the Old New Deal was a result of class struggle. It was a result of mass organizing, and that's what the person who asked the question was asking about, and that is true. But the Old New Deal was definitely the result of class struggle. It was Roosevelt being forced by communists organizing during an economic crisis. So, you're absolutely right about that. Now, the person here says that Zoomers are increasingly left-wing. Wouldn't put it that way. The atmosphere in the country is increasingly left-wing, and Zoomers are being raised in an environment where it's much less okay to disagree than it used to be, right? The cancel culture stuff, and, it's much less okay to disagree with the prevailing attitude than it used to be. And Zoomers are growing up in an atmosphere like that. Plus, they're growing up in an atmosphere where ideas are much more accessible, the internet and all of that. But I wouldn't guarantee, I'm not sure I would agree that Zoomers are necessarily, if on paper their positions are definitely more socially liberal. But many people see an authoritarian streak in Zoomers. Many people see Zoomers as much less impressed with the wokeism than the millennials, my generation, are. And that there is a conservative streak to Zoomers, right? It's not apparent in policy positions right now, but in their personalities. There is much more of a conservative streak in the personalities of Zoomers. Many people have said that Zoomers, they grew up almost wanting authority, right? They grew up almost wanting more rules. And they also grew up, in a culture that was much less, the baby boomer social liberalism, do your own thing, man, do your own thing. That's not very apparent among Zoomers. Now, Zoomers, yes, they tend to, on social issues, they tend to take socially liberal positions. That's true. But their personalities, again, we could be heading for a conservative blowback. And that scares me, because what American conservatism means right now, what Hillsdale College and PragerU, the not real university, think, what social conservatism means to them is terrifying. It's utterly terrifying. But what is that going to mean? I think there's going to be a blowback against social liberalism. I don't think there's going to be. I think economically the country is going to turn more left wing than ever. But I'm scared of what that means at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I don't know what it ultimately means, but there are some trends in this country that are going in certain ways. There are polls, and there is a conservative tendency in the personalities of Zoomers, overwhelmingly. And look, I'm just telling you, that is reality. So there you go. All right, folks, I'm sorry about that little break that we had where it cut off. I hate it, especially when it's like I'm right near the end. If they're going to cut me off, do it halfway through. So but whatever. A new upsurge in the struggle against U.S. imperialism is now emerging throughout the world. Ever since World War II, U.S. imperialism and its followers have been continuously launching wars of aggression, but the people of various countries have been continuously waging revolutionary wars to defeat their aggression. And while the danger of a new world war still exists and the people of all countries must get prepared, revolution is the main trend in the world today. While the danger of a new world war still exists and the people of all countries must get prepared, revolution is the main trend in the world today. We need a government of action to fight for working families. We need a government of action to fight for working families. Have a good night.